going to give you one more, and then we just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
How has hosting this podcast impacted you personally? And we've breezed upon that.
Yeah.
You've hit every one of my damn questions, and it's like, you say it, and then I'm like, moving on.
Well, not to sound over emotional, because I'm sure I already have, but like when I started the podcast, Eddie died and we talked about all that stuff, but I wasn't doing shit, Kent. I've been, I was, when I'm not working, I'm lazy as fuck, but I was raised by a workaholic. And so he taught me to be a workaholic. So it got to the point where if I wasn't doing this podcast, it was work and home. A lot of just sitting there watching TV, being kind of lethargic and tired, and then, end up losing Eddie, and then there's a little bit of depression.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're a workaholic, I was telling Robert yesterday, I was like, when you're a workaholic, you don't know anything else, right? I'd love to do something else, but I don't know what there is to do, right? And so I think this gave me an opportunity to do something.
Did somebody tell you to do this? Or you just kind of like...
No, it was the
listen
scrapbook.
to podcast? Oh, okay.
It was a scrapbook.
Okay.
And listen, Nina's a great girl.
It's a great girl.
Men are from Mars and women are from stupider. We don't converse, really. We talk.
Right.
We don't converse. I enjoy conversation, right? I want to talk to you, but I also want to hear what you have to say.
Right.
And so in the beginning, I had to teach myself to listen, because Nina would tell me this between the two of me and her, you're always just waiting to talk. And I was like, fuck, I really am always just waiting to talk. So having nothing going on outside of work, being bummed out, nothing really going on. I would tell people, hey, if you need something, call me. I'm not doing anything. If you need help with something, or you need something moved, or you need to borrow the truck, let me know. You need kids picked up. And because we had gone through the whole not having kids thing, and the miscarriage stuff. So it was literally, you had this idea in your brain of what your life's going to look like. And then you start getting middle age and you go, oh, God had a different plan, right? And so it was kind of like, okay, I had anticipated being a workaholic, trying to start a career, to raise a family and have kids and buy this house and do all these things. And so you kind of put the cart in front of the horse. You're getting the house, you're getting the job, you're buying things, and you're waiting on the kids to come, and they never show up, right? And so after a while, it's like, no, now what are we going to do? Nina loves soccer. Well, Nina was neck deep. She's always been neck deep in soccer. Teaching's a crazy job, and everybody's tired when they're done. So like Nina's already plate was full. Mine was like, all I know is work. I'm out of work. What am I going to do? Let me stare at the ceiling and start watching 90 Day Fiance. And so this kind of starting as a scrapbook thing kind of led to me going, okay, there were days where it's like, man, I gotta go do this. It's like, and it wasn't like I had to, but I would tell myself, dude, you haven't been out of the house all day. You got to get out, go do this. And there was
You started in your house. I remember, like with your dad.
Yeah, it was real creepy. Yeah, it felt bad.
It's cool though. It was the progression to see the progression guy.
Well, that's where also it kind of this place, Bo lending me a spot, was really helpful, because it was okay when I invited people I knew, but then again, you got this middle-aged fat guy who's charming and devilishly handsome going, hey, come to my house and do a podcast on my kitchen table. To a stranger, it's weird.